Hello, hello, hello. You're listening to Midnight Movie Gang.
Hi.
It's 4:35 Night Movie Gang. This is like episode 34
PM, by the way.
PM, yeah. No, this is a show where we talk about cult cinema, lesser known films, kind of hidden gems. I'd definitely call this one of them for sure.
Yeah.
This is a movie I don't hear a lot of people talking about.
Surprisingly good.
We'll get into it. I'm LC, your host, and I'm here with my buddy Joseph.
Hello.
And today, what's the name of the movie we're talking about?
Moon.
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 Ammo and Moon, 2009 science fiction film directed by Duncan Jones in his directorial debut. Little fun fact, which I'm sure we'll mention multiple times. Duncan Jones is David Bowie's son. His actual birth name is Zowie Haywood.
Get fucking doxxed, dude.
Yeah. Like he was born like Zowie Bowie or whatever.
That's a really stupid name.
Yeah, it was like, and pretty early on, like in his like professional career, he wanted to distance himself from his father, and like like he wanted to kind of like make sure that his career wasn't like, I mean, like we were talking about before, like definitely probably helped in financing the film, and his works, but just as far as like people not associating his name with his dad. Before we hop into the review, we're drinking some tea.
Oh yeah. Drinking that back to that hot tea.
Just because I don't know about you. I feel like I've been tired the last few days.
Yeah, it's been an exhausting life.
Yeah, life is very exhausting. Do you remember I have your tea tag, but do you remember what kind of tea you're drinking there?
It's Bigelow vanilla chai. Again, just like the first episode.
Nice. Your go-to.
Yeah.
I'm drinking some Ahmad, some Strawberry Sensation Ahmad tea. These are both black teas, caffeinated.
Oh, yeah. Quite the sensation.
Which, I was kind of dozing off by the end of the movie. Not because of the movie. Not because of the movie, because the movie was really good, but I was just like, I just feel very drained in my soul.
Yeah.
But we're here to talk about, still here to talk about these movies, love movies. Let's go, get it going.
This might be a little more of a low-key episode.
Yeah, a little low-key, a little short, a little sit back.
It's a sad movie, so.
It is a sad movie. I forgot how sad it was.
Yeah.
Actually, it was another element of it, too. But, we'll hop into it. So, Joseph.
Yes.
Moon. What did you know about Moon beforehand? And, like, what's your experience with Sam Rockwell and, like, do you know if you've seen any other movies by Duncan Jones or
I do not know.
Do you think we went to the moon? Are you a believer?
Oh, you mean the sound stage that Stanley Kubrick directed?
Do you mean the lot name?
That was a joke. No,
this is not a flat Earth podcast.
I don't think Sam Rockwell is even. I'm sure he's in plenty of movies, but I have not seen him in like a lot. I think he's kind of selective. But from what I have seen, he's a great actor, especially after this.
Yeah, no, he definitely crushed. I mean, it's pretty much a one-man, two-man show as far as, like, really just...
I was kind of waiting on, like, the space station to be full of, like, 30 Sam Rockwells all, like, arguing with each other. I thought that was going to be, like, the big culmination of this concept.
I think that's the higher budget version, the Mr. Meesinks.
Yeah.
Like...
If you haven't seen this movie, there's some fuckery going on with multiple of the same actor. It's like and I remember seeing the trailer and thinking that was just because he was going crazy and he was just talking to himself. But it's a little more sci-fi than that. Yeah,
it's a little more sci-fi than that. That's pretty much like the main like conceit of the movie. Really, is all based on what's going on with this double Sam Rockwell situation. I mean, for a minute, the movie is trying to. Like, there's a little bit of a question of, like, oh, is he just going crazy? Like, is it a split personality thing? But we'll get into it. I don't know. I grew up knowing Sam primarily, the thing I can remember and probably know him most from is Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. He's great in that.
He's Guy. He plays, like, a character who's basically, like... The Galaxy Quest is something we should do a Galaxy Quest episode.
I think of him mostly in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie.
Yes. He's what's the fuck?
Probably be a good double feature with Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would be perfect. What's his name in that movie?
Zaphod Beeblebrox.
Zaphod
Beeblebrox.
Beeblebrox.
I don't remember. Beeblebrox, probably.
The president of space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a cool the Sam Rockwell space double feature right there.
Yeah.
And we know in this movie, this boy likes to go to space.
Yeah, he likes to dance and he likes to be in sci-fi movies. And these are two things I know about Sam Rockwell. That and he does a really good G.W. Bush impression.
Indeed, he does in Vice. He was probably the most. I still to this day I don't know why. I saw Vice in theaters for some reason.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
And Sam Rockwell was good in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So yeah, this movie. Spoilers ahead. Real quick before we kind of talk about the movie, I want to talk a little bit about some of Duncan Jones's other work. For people who don't know, he's probably his biggest movie overall is probably he directed the 2016 Warcraft movie.
Oh, the one no one likes.
The one that no one likes.
I haven't seen it. Every time I'm like browsing streaming service and I'm like really high and I'm just like I just want a movie with like cool stuff to look at. I see Warcraft and I'm like, would that even have any value to me right now?
I feel like Warcraft could fill that specific void that you're talking about because the visuals are incredible.
I've heard it's impossible to follow if you don't already know the lore.
I wouldn't say impossible, but it definitely is. The movie assumes that you know what's going on.
Which is a stupid idea.
Like when certain name drops happen, I remember when I saw it in theaters, they're like, so-and-so is coming. Crickets.
Yeah. Who?
What? Warcraft is definitely a quote-unquote like for the fans type movie. I mean,
it's a bad idea for an adaptation.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing where it's like I think that people I've said this before as far as like the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves movie.
Yeah.
That movie is what I think people wanted out of going to a Warcraft movie.
Yeah.
As far as like a fun fantasy adventure with Easter eggs and plenty of stuff for people who are fans of the IP.
It's like, we've got plenty. Like, if you're gonna do an adaptation, part of the point is to draw new people who aren't familiar with the IP into the IP, like that might not know about it otherwise. So that seems to be taking the opposite route, where it's like, no one who doesn't know what Warcraft is even gonna watch this. So fuck it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hey, I'm reviewing a movie I haven't seen, so
yeah, I feel like in general with adaptations like that, it's a weird, like line to balance on. And I mean, as far as like, I think I had a weird experience with it, where as far as like, I played World of Warcraft, but I don't necessarily know a whole lot personally about the lore. I feel like I know more about the lore of it than most people. But when I saw the movie when it came out, I went with my buddy Isaac, who is a massive Warcraft fan. Yeah. Like of all the lore, like Blizzard games in general, like StarCraft 2, like he like knows all the specific lore. He played all the old games. He's read the books and stuff. Like, he's really into it. And the whole time he was just like giddy next to me.
It was made for that guy specifically.
It was made for my buddy Isaac. He fucking loved it. So I succeeded in that regard.
They spent $200 million on a movie for one guy.
Duncan Jones also directed a made for Netflix movie called Mute, which was like
I may have heard of that.
Yeah, so unfavorable comparisons to Blade Runner. Well, it's basically like it's 2035 and it's the neo future, and there's like a assassin man who's mute, like his vocal cords have been cut. And he's like
the quiet man.
Yeah, he's just like a quiet assassin man. Paul Rudd's in it, and he's really, really goofy. Already a bad. That
was an audible eye roll you guys just heard.
With Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd plays Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I heard it got neutral reviews, but that was the most recent.
Bummer.
That was the most recent.
You'd think this guy would make like really good movies over and over again.
Yeah. He directed Source Code, which came out in 2011. Did you see Source Code?
I heard of it, I think.
It's the one where like Jake Gyllenhaal's on a train and there's a bomb on the train and he has to find the bomb, but like when it goes off, time resets.
Oh.
And it's like it's
like Edge of Tomorrow, Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
other time loop properties.
It's very much in that realm of like it's a time loop, like gotta find the bomb on the train or else time will loop type deal. And it got good reviews when it came out. I haven't seen it in a while, but I just don't like Jake Gyllenhaal's face, so that's probably why I haven't But we're talking about Moon.
Yeah.
So as far as like, we'll go into the plot of it. Into the plot of Moon. Well, actually, before we go into the plot of it, just like overall, what? So like in general, like, did it meet your expectations? Like, were you expecting a little bit more? Like, how did you feel about it overall?
I liked it. It was very sad. I think as far as like a sci-fi property dealing with these themes of like what it means to be an individual and like it's like it's getting into spoilers a little bit, like what it means.
Spoil away.
Like they have like implant memories like Blade Runner, and the main character is a clone of a guy who's living on Earth, and he had none of his memories are real. He's basically just a drone bee who's bred to just work this single job. And I think that's a cool concept. I don't think that the movie really does much with that concept aside from just like making a sci-fi movie. Like it doesn't seem to really be all that interested in like the actual implications as much as like a Blade Runner would be.
Yeah.
It's more interested in just telling a story, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I was a little disappointed that like they could have dug a little deeper into that concept.
Yeah, it's more of a character piece, really.
Yeah.
Than anything else. Like, it kind of focuses all of its energy on Sam. I feel like if it had a bigger budget, then maybe they would have been able to explore some of the, weirder aspects of it.
Like, just like a little more, like, because like we just kind of see them sad and upset, but they don't really explore. Like, if just like some different dialogue, I think. Like, it's like, yeah, I understand why this would be upsetting, but if you could like, I don't know, just do something with it, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think that early on, something that I realized upon, honestly, how do I put it? I feel like this viewing for me, it also might have to do with the fact that I just don't feel good today. The viewing, my opinion of it kind of went down a little bit.
Yeah.
In that, like, I feel like they kind of like started leading us to places where we didn't really get resolution. Like, the biggest thing for me that I noticed this time was so there are like some kind of pseudo dream sequence type things. Like the very first one is like he sees his daughter, or like a young, I believe his daughter, like he sees like a young woman, like hallucinates a young woman being in the pod with him, and he like burns his hand like on the wall, like goes make attention, he burned his hand. And then like there's a few sequences where he like dreams of like fucking his wife, and like he's like trapped like under the bed and stuff. And there's a few of those like in the first half of the movie, and then they just kind of drop those. Like they kind of,
I thought the conceit of the movie was going to be the whole thing is him going insane because he's isolated. But then it's just like, oh, he has clones, there are no more hallucinations, there's no more him going crazy.
I feel like you could have kept the clone. Like, the whole thing of there being actually clones, like, is, like, I feel like you could have kept the message. But then, I don't know, I feel like I could have done with, like, I wanted more weird dream sequences, more weird vision. Cause it wasn't more weird visuals. And for things, like you were saying, like, if he had hallucinated, had a dream where there was a million Sam Rockwells. You know, that, like, we're all trying to, like, hop on top of each other and yell at each other and shit. Then, like, I feel like there was a bit of a, what's the word? Like, I feel like it didn't necessarily ramp up. You know, like, I feel like at a certain point.
It kind of, it drops like a lot of that introspective shit. As soon as there's another Sam Rockwell, it's more focused on telling a sci-fi story. Like, it's more focused on, like, the nuts and bolts of this than it is on, like, the sort of, like, high-minded, like, psychological aspect. So it's just like, this makes him sad.
Indeed,
It's like there's no like horrifying existential crisis that you would probably have in this situation.
They could have delved deeper into like how much it messed with his mind. I guess.
Because it's already an R-rated drama about this guy in this situation. It feels like it was just a little bit ill-equipped to do. Like, and it sounds like I don't like the movie. I really do.
I like the
just
movie
like
too.
My main criticism of it.
Yeah, probably my main criticism too, because there's a whole lot about this movie that's great. Which,
I like it a lot.
Yeah, we'll get into the from the production design to.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's get into the plot. There's a little intro kind of explaining that like there's this company called Lunar Industries. LI. Whale and Yutani stand in. And basically we get all of our power on Earth from shipments of basically the premise the sci-fi pill you got to swallow. Of the main one is like like the sun is basically like cooking up like.
It deposits a lot of energy into the rocks of the moon.
Into the rocks of the
moon.
moon.
And we can somehow extract that energy out of the rocks of the moon and send it to Earth.
Exactly, yeah. Helium-3, they call it in the movie.
Yeah.
And basically, yeah, so... And on the moon, there's like a base and like a mining system that is basically monitored and like facilitated by one guy.
Yeah.
By one person stationed on the moon at the beginning of the movie that we think of. And it's Sam Rockwell who plays Sam Bell in this movie. So Sam.
Yeah. You said this role was written for him.
Yeah, it was very specifically written for
him.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's very. It does just feel like you are watching like a real guy.
Because he's doing both. Like he's playing both a guy who's been here for 3 years and a guy who's like just got here.
Exactly.
And like you can see the difference in like because one guy has been like has settled into this place and is just ready to go home and he's all like super casual and formal, and the other guy is an astronaut who's just like here to like logically and try to like deal with it. And they both deal with this situation that they're presented with differently, and that's an interesting part.
Yeah, no, the performances for both like we'll get into it when it's more, especially when we get to like introducing the second Sam, but like at a point both versions of this character that we get in this movie, just the way they move in the environment is different. Like the way they kind of hold them, like you can tell
it's a difference of 3 years of the same shit every day.
Yeah, no, and it's really cool. So we start up the Sam that where he's about to be at the end of his 3-year contract up there, and he's getting like video messages from Earth from his wife. And because we're told at the beginning that the the live communication like is like down, like the radio's fucked up and we can't fix it. You know, which apparently it's been that way for 3 years. We're introduced to his robot buddy Gertie,
played by convicted pedophile. Well, I don't know if he's convicted.
No,
has he been convicted?
He was convicted. Yeah,
I don't know. Played by pedophile Kevin Spacey. And the biggest twist in the movie is that he's not a bad guy, even though he's basically Hal. He's like exactly Hal 9000, except not a bad guy.
He's not a bad robot. He's actually kind of chill.
Yeah, he's like, you can almost see him as like the people who put Sam up here, these clones, know that they're doing something like pretty fucked up and sad, so they just put a robot there whose whole job is to just make him as happy as possible while he's there.
Yeah, I'm fully functional.
Like you can almost like, and like even from everything to like later on we see that they're when the clones are done with their 3 years, they get put in a cryo chamber that makes them think that they're going back to Earth, but they're actually being killed instantly.
Just being zapped.
Yeah. And you can even see like in this video that they have pre-made of this guy, you can tell they're just like trying to make like it's almost like apologetic as to like what they're about to do. You can see a lot of that like humanity and like the people that are doing this to him, but they're still doing it.
Yeah, they're still doing it because they're still trying to save a buck.
Yeah.
What did you think of the design? I was gonna say the design of Gertie specifically, the robot. What do you think of like the overall visual look
great.
of this movie?
Considering the budget, I was really impressed with the way this whole movie looked.
$5 million.
It's insane. Because the robot is very convincing. I love that it's like hanging from the ceiling. It's got these two robot arms.
It just moves along like this track.
Yeah, I love
the ceiling.
Yeah, I love this. It's got a white light. It's got a blue light, not a red light. It's got a nice smiley face screen. That's like the iconography of the whole movie. Yeah, and it's not a bad guy, which is weird. No, I like the whole. It feels very appropriate. It doesn't look cheap at all. It looks like a real space station. I like it a lot.
Yeah, no, it definitely benefits from the fact that essentially it's pretty much this one space.
Yeah, like, and then some external Mars stuff that you said is miniatures.
Some external moon stuff.
Which makes the movie just look perfect. Like, looks like just flawless outside.
Yeah, no, it definitely harkens back. Like, I definitely felt a lot more 2001 in its visual inspiration this time around.
There's a lot of 2001 in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of 2001 energy.
It's like 2001 meets like Blade Runner in my mind. Those are the two core influences, and maybe like a little bit of Alien, just in the production design.
Yeah, a little bit of Alien. I feel like the Alien feel comes from the fact that it's Hawaiian shirts in space.
Yeah,
as far as like Alien.
Well, even just like the way the station is designed, it looks a lot like the Nostromo.
Yeah.
On the inside, it's just like these panels on the walls and the 45-degree angles.
Yeah, and some parts of it are like a little bit are like dirty, like a lot of like the food meal.
Yeah. Oh, I love the way Gertie looked. Like he looks like a computer terminal at your job that's just never cleaned. Like he's got like a cup holder that you can put coffee on, and there's a bunch of splatters of coffee all over him. They've just never been wiped down.
He's got sticky notes and like marks all over him.
Who has fucking time for that?
Yeah, same thing too. Just like with other things in the station, like Sam's little main console terminal area. Like he has all of the rovers are like he has like in marker.
Written on it. Yeah,
what they're named and stuff. And
feels very lived in.
Yeah, it feels very lived in, very tactile. Like you can really feel that this person has like lived just in this one space for 3 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me that like damn, you'd think that like I don't know, you'd question more the fact that like they're gonna have one person here for 3 years. Like you're not at least gonna have two or a crew or something.
That's another problem I have is how accepting he is of everything as the movie goes on. And how he sees a clone of himself, but he still thinks he's gonna go home.
Yeah,
like part of that's like probably denial, but like he does take a lot in stride that I don't think I would. But maybe that's why he was selected. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe like psychologically.
Yeah,
that's right. Or another thing to think of is like maybe the clones are like conditioned to like. It could be a part of the protocol where it's like when they encounter another clone or whatever, something
to not freak out.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like being a little bit more docile.
That may be us giving the movie more credit than it deserves, but still.
It's building the movie additional in our mind.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. So basically, Sam is doing his duty. It's very like I said during the movie, like it's like your hardcore difficulty, No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
So Sam is so he gets into a crash, the first Sam that we encounter, and then we wake up. At first, we're supposed to think that this new Sam that wakes up is the Sam that we have known for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the first things, like I don't know if you noticed the fact that like he didn't have the burn on his hand.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, just like a little detail, just to give you a hint right away that like it's a different guy. Sam almost catches Gertie talking to somebody, 2 corporate suits live.
Yeah.
Over the Skype call, over the Zoom. And Gertie's like, "No, I was just recording a message. Don't worry about it."
Okay, you got me.
Yeah. Some of Gertie's like not reactions are so goddamn funny to me.
Yeah, because it's like, it's so weird because it's like this is a computer terminal. This is an AI that is programmed to not let on any of this shit. But then like it'll lie to you the first like couple times, then it'll just be like, "Yeah, you got me."
Yeah, that's it. Well, it's because it's probably not programmed to deal with like.
It's only programmed to like make the person who's here happy, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah, and it just you could tell like it doesn't have responses baked in for this quote unquote impossible situation that's in front of it. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the crash happens. And the new Sam that we encounter wants to leave and go work, and like just there's something out there, like he's not allowed to leave, he's boxed in.
Yeah.
And he says like I feel like I'm being treated like a child, like what the fuck.
Yeah.
And we're told at this point that there's a rescue team, a team that's coming up to fix one of the rovers. It's gonna be there in a day. So Sam Rockwell basically tricks Gertie into opening the doors by like
he just convinces him essentially.
Yeah, well he pokes like a hole in one of the one of the pipes, like one of the air filtration. Yeah, there's gas leaking, and he's like, "Well, you gotta let me out now."
Yeah.
And Gertie's like, "Okay." He sees that one of his spacesuits is missing, and he's like, "Oh, that's weird."
That was when it was like in my mind. I was like, "Oh shit, clones!"
Yeah, that's when you like. 100%.
This is a clone movie.
Oh shit, there's clones going on.
Yeah.
So he finds the crash rover. He picks up the other Sam, It brings him to Gertie, like, what the hell is this? Who is this?
Yeah.
And Gertie's like, that's Sam Bell.
Yeah.
You're Sam Bell.
Yeah. Everyone's just Sam Bell.
Mm-hmm. And so the old Sam, the Crash Sam, the old Sam, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Sam has been there for a while. Starts to wake up, and at first he thinks that he's hallucinating young Sam.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah. New Sam is a fucking asshole to him too.
Yeah, I knew Sam is kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
To him. Do you think that he was too mean to him?
Yes.
Like in a way that didn't make that.
It didn't make any sense. It's like because partially it's like you're gonna look at this other guy and like to acknowledge that this is like a person that deserves respect would be to like give this situation legitimacy, and then you have to confront all these big problems, and it's like I kind of get that, but on the other hand, he's like being like outright cruel to this guy. Like he's not just like you're just a clone, you're not a real person. It's like actively just mean.
Yeah.
And then it also doesn't make sense that this guy is being so cruel to other Sam, and Sam 1 is just so chill with the situation, just wants to like say hi to this guy.
Yeah, well, I feel like Sam 1 at this point is kind of like his mind is so much more gone.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as like him being there 3 years, like he's probably just got, even though the situation's fucked up, he's probably just kind of elated a little bit that he has someone to talk to.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Like he first thing he's like, "You want to shake my hand?" And then we're joking during the movie, "You want to jack me off?" Yeah, but yeah, no, like they don't get along at first. Like new Sam, I think part of it too is that new Sam is kind of frustrated because he figures out early on that like that they're both clones.
Yeah.
As far as like this is part of like some big fucked shit, and he's just like more mad than anything else.
Yeah.
And and like there were hints early on as far as like them not being the first when like Sam has a model of like I believe it's his hometown.
Yeah.
That he's like working on.
That apparently a series of Sams have been working on.
Yeah. That like the next Sam just takes it up and starts doing it. And new Sam remarks like, "How long have you been working on that? Like someone started it before you were here." And the middle of the movie is kind of just them trying to get along.
Yeah.
Slash like
odd couple.
Well, odd couple. There's a funny scene where they're playing ping pong. Which as a visual effect, I mean, we could talk a little bit about the cloning effect in general, but like
it's very impressive.
The ping pong scene, especially because like they jostle the table.
Yeah, once Sam moves the table, it's like, oh shit.
What do you think about the VFX as far as the cloning? Like, were there?
I didn't see any issues at all, really. I'm sure if I watched it on like an IMAX screen, I'd be able to see something, but no, it looked pretty perfect. Like the effects in this movie are super impressive, especially for the budget.
Yeah, no, it's used very. The effects are used very very effectively, very efficiently.
Yeah.
They know when to pick and choose, like when, especially like the exterior shots where like. You pretty much see the exterior of the rover when, like, you need to have a sense of, like, how far apart things are and stuff. I think the one exterior shot that bugged me was, like, towards the end. There's a scene where, like, Sam steps out of the rover vehicle and he's, like, looking up at this tower. Yeah. And I thought that the compositing looked kind of bad there. Like, it was feeling...
Probably, yeah.
It was feeling very green screen.
That'll happen, though, It's 2009.
Yeah.
What is it? The Watchmen movie had just come out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like that one shot was one that I took issue with.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it all looked pretty great. So they should remember the order of what happened. Yeah, so like not much, like there's a lot of, I feel like this movie almost could have functioned a bit better as like, it's very short. Yeah. Like it's an hour and a half, but they don't really, they kind of run out of, like you said, like either they could have like explored more of the existentialism of it, or it could have functioned better as like a short film.
Yeah, it feels like its focus, and also I noticed Sam doesn't really have a character arc.
What do you mean?
Like he doesn't. He's the same guy at the end as he is at the beginning. Like, what does he learn?
That he's being fucked by space Sam.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he just learns the plot of the movie, but like, yeah. I mean, he dies, but, like, I guess Sam 2 has an arc.
You mean new Sam?
Yeah.
Or younger Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in that he just becomes a little more accepting of the situation, and I don't know. Maybe I missed it, but there's no real noticeable arc.
I mean, by the end, they're both kind of ready to. I mean,
I guess that's just accepting their situation.
Yeah. Old Sam accepts his mortality.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another aspect that I think we should talk about is like the fact that these the clones. So you said that your theory is like that the amount of radiation is what's killing them.
Yeah.
Like I think that it's a Blade Runner type situation.
Yeah.
Where, like,
but either works.
Yeah, either works. They're basically Old Sam is dying. Like he's coughing up blood.
You just die at a certain point if you're a clone. Like,
yeah. Like
just to be replaced.
Yeah,
he just get used up.
Yeah, he looks like shit. His teeth are falling out, all of the fly.
Yeah.
I thought the makeup was pretty solid as far as like
he did look sick.
like him looking bad.
And
like,
his injuries, they get injured a lot. Both of them. They
they beat each other up and
yeah, they have a fight. There's a clone on clone fight.
Yeah, no, there was some little parts in that clone on clone fight where I could see like some of the far shots where like someone's head is turned. Like that's not the best. Sam Rockwell's
Wait
head.
a second, that's a stunt guy.
Yeah, yeah, no, like there's some good like sick effects and just like overall he's just getting more and more sick throughout the movie.
He's just dying. Yeah, there's nothing to be done for it.
Yeah,
and it's like because it's not like he's got like a virus or anything. Like
no, just his body is breaking down.
It's either radiation or he's just past his expiration date.
Basically at the end, this quote unquote rescue crew is coming to basically just to get rid of evidence.
Yeah.
Like to kill the clones that need to be killed and get rid of evidence. And they kind of devise a little bit of a scheme for one of the Sams to be able to jettison back to Earth, and like one of them's gonna go back in the crashed rover.
Yeah.
So in the end, we're really skip. I mean, they find the secret.
It's
room.
a simple movie.
Yeah, they find the secret room with like just a fuck ton of like other Sams.
Yep.
Something I didn't put together as far as like when we know for a fact how many is like we're on Sam 5 and 6, like the ones that we know in the movie.
Yeah, we've been here for a while.
There's a little moment where one of the Sams gets to like have a Skype call with his daughter, who is like now 15 years old. Like he thought she was a baby.
Yeah.
Or like his original, and you hear the voice of the OG Sam, like in the background, like "Honey, who's on the phone?"
Yeah.
Type of deal. And
now that's a terrifying and like you can see that it's like. It like really gets to him when he's on the phone, and then that's just kind of never dealt with. Like he just kind of he just accepts like, well, I guess I was just born to die.
Yeah,
and then he just dies. I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess he kind of sacrificed himself. Like he realized it's a waste of time to like put him in a pod and send him to Earth.
Yeah, because like he would probably just die when he gets there, whereas like other Sam would at least have some time to do something.
Like hearing that there's still a you that's alive, like and you're just a copy of that would fuck with you so hard. And it feels like it's like barely grazed here in this movie. That's
something that I wanted to ask you about was do you think that the original Sam knew about this situation? Like, do you think he consented to like being cloned and stuff?
Yeah, probably. Maybe. Maybe without even like fully understanding like the implications of what it is. Maybe it's just like, yeah, we're just gonna use you and we'll pay you for all the work that your clones do.
Damn, sounds like a deal to me.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother. I don't know. There's some big Clone Wars energy, like Jango Fett being cloned.
Yeah, that was this. It was the because it kind of makes more sense that he would do that than agree to go live on the moon for 3 years while his baby grows up.
Yeah, true. That makes sense. Yeah, pretty long tenure for like having a whole ass family back.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, no, and then we find out like in a little bit of there's like some newscaster audio at the end. as Sam is jettisoning the Earth, basically talking about like the Clone 6 of Sam has been giving us information about the fucked up practices of lunar industries.
Yeah, so there's people talking about it, and then the very last line is like a Rush Limbaugh or like Glenn Beck on his radio program.
He's a liar.
Like, he's probably an immigrant. Next caller.
Yep. Type deal.
So nothing changes.
Things never change.
What I took away from it is it's probably just it's probably just going to keep going on the moon.
Yeah, I feel like if this was a newer movie, it'd delve into that more as far as like, because that made me think about almost you've seen Sorry to Bother You, right?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, as far as like the no one giving a shit about the horse people.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that the true ending of this movie, especially if it came out now, is everyone finds out about this horrible unethical practice on the moon. And it just goes on forever. and then because like, what the fuck are we gonna do?
Yep, and then no one can do anything
moon.
about it.
Yeah,
who gives a fuck. Indeed. Yeah, that is how it will go. I gotta rewatch Sorry to Bother You.
It's great. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater too.
Armie Hammer plays a really good rich creep. Crazy.
Oh yeah, he's great. I love the scene where he's like, I just wanted to show you I wasn't crazy. I just wanted the video to make sense.
That movie is fucking hilarious. Guys, if you haven't seen Sorry to Bother You, check it out.
We should definitely do an episode. But yeah, no, so I wanted to ask with this movie, if they were to do like a modern remake, redesign, A24's Moon. Yeah. We talked about it while we were watching, but who are some actors who you think would do a good job at being doubling themselves?
My top pick was Charlie Day. Mm-hmm. Not just because Sam Rockwell looks like him a lot in this movie, and a lot of his wardrobe reminded me of him. If you watch the movie, you'll see what I mean. It reminded me of him in It's Always Sunny. But I also think I'd like to see Charlie Day. I'd like to see him because I liked him in Pacific Rim. I'd like to see him do something more dramatic because I think that the whole cast of that show is capable. I just saw Blackberry with Glenn Howerton, and I wasn't expecting to like it, but I liked it a lot because Glenn Howerton's just such a great actor.
That's one with Jay Baruchel too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. No, that movie was great, and I wasn't expecting to like a product movie. So yeah, I'd like to see that whole cast get more dramatic roles. But yeah, I think because there's a level of like that kind of blue collar grunginess. And like a guy with like a sense of humor, just being like an everyday guy up there, and I think Charlie Day would be able to capture that really well. Yeah. Plus, I'd like to see his movie career not be ruined by that piece of shit he just made.
Indeed.
That no one liked.
If we're made in the '80s, we could get Jeff Goldblum's Moon.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum would be great. Yeah. Old '80s Jeff Goldblum.
That'd be fantastic.
You were talking about Tom Hardy. You had some ideas.
Tom Hardy would be solid. Donald Glover was my number one.
Donald Glover is a great pick. Yeah.
Pick the Gambino.
That would be probably, that's right at the top of my list too.
If like the crew behind Atlanta did this shit, like it would be pretty fucking awesome.
I'd love to see him be able to actually like stretch his movie star legs too. Is he in a show right now aside from Atlanta? He's not in that Mr. and Mrs. Smith show, is he?
He's Mr. Smith.
Okay. I haven't seen anything about that.
We started watching it. And yeah,
it looks boring.
They make some changes like with the concept that
I say it looks boring. It looks like not my thing at all.
we watched the first 2 episodes, and I watched a bunch of reviews and reads. So do you care about spoilers?
No.
Yeah. So there's something I kind of like I said, I haven't watched this yet, but apparently what it is like at the end of like they do a few missions together. The whole like process of getting selected to work together or whatever is like a test to like join the agency efficiently, because the very final assignment is that one of them, whoever like is the better agent, who's performed better at the end of like their assignment, is told to kill the other. And like that's the whole. So like the last bit is like them like.
And what? That doesn't always work out?
No, like
that sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Why would they do that and expect them just to be cool with it?
Well, because the ones that would be cool, they're like, oh, they're the agents we want. They're the psychopaths we want.
I don't know, man.
Type of situation.
It just personally that kind of spy, like a whole series based around like a spy organization, just built on the fact that they're both attractive. That just sounds like not my thing at all.
It's a thing where like I heard it was good, but you know, it's like I'm just not a TV show guy, especially lately.
Yeah, me either. I've been watching Watchmen. I know I'm late to the party, but it's great. It's just taking me like 2 months to get through it because I just don't put aside a lot of time to watch TV.
Yeah, because it's just still a thing.
It just eats up a lot of time, you know.
Yeah, movies I can just do in one sitting. And
yeah, exactly.
The whole experience.
Yeah, I know the whole deal.
Exactly. Yeah. So with Moon, props.
I know my prop.
You know your prop.
Yeah.
What are your, there are a few good options. What's your prop?
I want that rover.
Oh, that's a good one.
I want that little RC rover. I want to roll it around in slow motion.
Drive it around. Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think I might want. Fuck. At first, I was saying like his sunglasses, but
they're good. They're just aviators.
Yeah, they are just aviators, though. I was gonna say probably. I want the Gertie console. Like I want it like in my wall or like hanging from the ceiling.
Hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, and like
you can like rotate it around.
Yeah, and it can like talk to you.
It's probably a real LCD screen.
Probably.
Yeah.
The only unfortunate thing is that it'd be voiced by Kevin Spacey.
It's got the voice built in.
Yeah.
How is he not the fucking bad guy of this movie? They like telegraphed it. So they cast Kevin Spacey, and they even like there's references to 2001, and like I don't know, man. Mm-hmm. That's like that's a giant twist.
Yeah, Matt Berry was one of the corporate guys. That's
well,
crazy.
like we see the corporate guys and they're sitting on the other end of a boardroom table, like
yeah, they're really hard to see
to make them look as like far away as possible. I think that was very intentional.
Yeah, it's Benedict Wong and Matt Berry as the corporate men. That's nuts. What a cameo.
He on the moon though.
Yeah.
He really is up there.
Yeah. Next episode we're gonna have that y'all are gonna hear is that we're doing a collab with with another podcast.
Yeah.
2 Cents Critic.
Hell yeah.
I think is what it's called. We're gonna talk about. I gotta find the name of the movie real quick.
The movie
for people at home if you want to prepare for the next episode. For folks at home, what the fuck is it called? I gotta find it. The movie's called Midnight. Just Midnight came out in 2021, and it's like a Korean thriller mystery type deal. So yeah, if you want
exciting.
If you want to prepare for next, we're about to watch it in a bit.
Yeah.
Dinner, so it's gonna be a good. Yeah, thriller.
Whatever that means.
It's only an hour 43, so yeah, another short movie.
Hell yeah.
God, I love me a short movie.
Me too.
It's available on Tubi for free for people who want to watch it at home.
Sponsored by Tubi.
We're gonna watch it on Tubi. That'd be honestly that is the streaming service I would most want to be.
We are Tubi's biggest supporters.
Tubi's biggest supporters.
We are half their viewer base.
Tubi cast. Yo, we're not gonna change it, but it would be. I would listen to a podcast where like the whole thing is like they only watch things that are available on Tubi.
Oh man, you'd wade through a lot of asylum garbage.
That'd be a lot of fun. Anyway, yeah, thank you folks for listening to Midnight Movie Gang. It's 518 Night Movie Gang.
A little bite-sized step for you.
Thank you so much again. Please like, share, subscribe. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube. Trying to get that. Trying to
follow us on Instagram.
Make YouTube. Don't follow us on Instagram.
Especially me.
We need one more Instagram follower at the moment to get to 100.
That could be you.
Yeah. Have a nice night, y'all.
Good night. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
So, here we go. With childish frustrations and complexes, the police are searching for James Thomas, believed to be the lover of Miss Williams, and her partner in the horrible murder of Walter. Grant everybody that I'm here to hold on. Oh, please tell me where they're going. Please tell me. Sorry, I don't know. How long could I got in here? 3 tickets to Albany on 6 o'clock train tonight. What do you mean? Special agent. Special agent.